Good evening, everyone. You're listening to Red Pill 78. I am the corruption detector, and this is your Red Pill News. We've got so much news to go over today, guys. Right now, the Democrat sham impeachment hearing is taking place on Capitol Hill. It's already turned into a you-know-what show. Also, our favorite Anon is posting hot and heavy as we speak, so those posts are probably going to balloon during the course of this video, but I'll do everything I can to cover as many as possible. Also, it looks like President Trump is going to be doing a rally in Louisiana this week, and the mayor of that town, a West Point graduate and a veteran himself, has requested that police and firefighters do not attend the event. And they've actually been threatened with leave, unpaid leave, if they choose to go and support the president. Absolutely incredible, the kind of disgusting display that you would not expect from someone in uniform, or formerly in uniform, rather. Also, it looks like RBG has missed court because of an illness, and this, of course, is after two major cancer scares already this year. The Democrats are lying on Capitol Hill. The Republicans are laughing at them because it's just such a ridiculous display. Also, one of the Democrats' star witnesses has already blew the whistle on the fact that Hunter Biden was inappropriately doing stuff in the Ukraine, admitted it in the course of their testimony. So we've got all this and more, guys, and we'll be right back after a quick word from my sponsor. First of all, guys, a big thank you to the developers at Vikings War of Clans. They wanted me to tell you about this game, and that is not a problem for me because once I started playing, I could not stop. So Vikings War of Clans was born out of the famous RPG and strategy games in the 90s. Games that youngsters today will never understand. Games you've got to take time playing. Nowadays, it's all about running and hiding, shooting, but Vikings gives you this deep, strategic experience that you are just not going to find anywhere else. If you're looking for a game that combines strategy, team play, and where time invested will pay off with victories, this game is for you. It's got a great visual style, it's packed with excellent 3D graphics and a gorgeous presentation, plus a really immersive soundtrack. You start out in the role of Jarl, the leader of your own kingdom. You begin by building your town, searching the area for resources, and then building up your army. And another thing I really like about this game is that it's not a real-time shooter where you blink and then bam, you're dead for the match. I can play for 5 minutes or 5 hours and pick it up when I feel like it. But basically, you can choose your own styles. Some players like to explore, some focus on building their cities, some others like researching technologies, but all of them can discover a mythical world. My favorite part is the deep character and strategy progression. The more you play, the more you build up your character, and the more you can do. Help support my channel by downloading Vikings for free, only from my link in the description box, and get the special bonus of 200 gold coins and a protective shield. Don't forget to look me up and join my Vikings clan under the nickname Wolfsbane78. Alright guys, thanks for sticking around. First of all today, I wanted to show you something that Thomas sent over. This is something that I completely forgot about, but if you'll remember, in the post that we went over yesterday, one of them said Project Looking Glass, looking forward to look back. Well, someone posted this video, our favorite Anon, Project Looking Glass, it all makes sense. This is about a secret military project in which there is a device that they can use to look into the future. Now, I knew about this several years ago. Carrie Cassidy from Project Camelot actually did this interview, and it's a really interesting interview. Now, I'm not going to go over it right now, but I want you guys to join me on True Reporting tonight on the live stream at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, because we are going to go over this together. And I think that you guys are going to find it very, very fascinating. So be there tonight at 8 p.m. on Thomas's channel, True Reporting, and I will see you guys there. All right, now as an addendum to yesterday's video, remember this 11.11.18 is a front-facing DoD IP address, and I had someone email me familiar with this location, letting me know that it was from Cheney Lake in Kansas. Remember, it's surrounded by corn, but it also made me realize, trust Kansas. Is this where they're located, and is this why they're telling us to trust Kansas? Because they're working out of Kansas. I just thought that was pretty cool. And also, somebody had sent me an email earlier today saying something about it, and so I wanted to make sure that I included it in today's video. All right, guys, so first we're going to start off with the day's posts. Post 3588 this morning at 11:18 a.m. That's very interesting, 11:18. And it begins with a tweet status from Sarah Carter. So let's go take a look at that. All right, so Sarah Carter here says, "Scandal. What kind of tools and assets could a State Department official have allegedly used to surveil U.S. journalists in Ukraine? It must have been a matter of national security to order surveillance of U.S. citizen, hopefully duly approved by a U.S. court." Let's go ahead and take a look at the article. Now, this is from October 10th. Sarah says, State Department official was monitoring U.S. journalists in Ukraine. What do we know about the State Department? It's the clowns in America. So, clowns in America spying on U.S. journalists in Ukraine. Representative Devin Nunes told Sean Hannity on Wednesday that the State Department was aware of irregular requests allegedly made by former U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch, to monitor the communications of U.S. journalists in that country. What I've heard, and I want to be clear, there's a difference. What I've heard is that there were strange requests, irregular requests, to monitor not just one journalist, but multiple journalists, Nunes said. Now, perhaps that was okay. Perhaps there was some reason for that it can be explained away. But that's what we know, and that's what we're going to be looking into. We also have concerns that possibly they were monitoring press from different journalists and others, Nunes continued. That we don't know, but we have people who are giving us this information, and we're going to ask these questions to the State Department, and hopefully they're going to get the answers before she comes in on Friday. Now, I haven't heard any follow-up on this, but obviously our favorite Anon posted it in today's post, 3588, because it has meaning. Let's go back to the post. Now, we've got July 8th, 2019 in the kill box. That would be the date that this post came out. Surveillance of Supreme Court and John Solomon terminated. Was that surveillance in Ukraine, was that of John Solomon? Relevant to upcoming D-class events? SIGINT, Five Eyes, domestic. Signals Intelligence, Five Eyes, domestic. Do you believe in coincidences? Mathematically impossible. 1 out of 100? But the narrative suggests nothing is accurately forecasted, and this is simply a big conspiracy theory. So, basically, we're being told that this was predicted by our favorite Anon way back in July, and then in October, it's released by Sarah Carter and Devin Nunes that, in fact, there was surveillance going on. Now, Looney in the kill box saying that we are not loonies, but that is how we're being portrayed. The narrative suggests nothing is accurately forecasted. We know that that's absolutely not correct. We get accurate forecasts from our favorite Anon on a regular basis. The mathematical impossibility that this person or group of people posting as our favorite Anon would be correct as often as they are, it is not possible. Ask yourself a very basic question. Would the fake news complex, and then in the kill box, New York Times, Washington Post, NBC, ABC, BBC, etc., ad infinitum, attack us if we weren't a real threat? Would they? Wouldn't they just ignore them if it was not a threat? The very fact that they're paying so much attention to it and working to discredit everything that our favorite Anon says and the information that we're pushing out as a result of these posts should tell you that it is very dangerous to the status quo. It's upsetting the balance. And that balance, namely being the control of everything by the clowns in America and their allies. Ask yourself a very basic question. Why is the forum where drops are made under constant attack? That would be 8kun, previously 8chan. Why would it be under attack if it was all for a LARP? Narrative, deplatform necessary because precursor to violent acts posted there prior to carry out. Remember, that's how everything started happening. They said that 8chan was the spot where all of these violent extremists were dropping hints that they were going to go out and perform these acts. Now, we know from history, we've seen it, there have been many things like that posted on a variety of social media platforms. However, 8chan, now 8kun, is the only one that they are working actively to take down. Why is that? Obviously, it's because we post there and our favorite Anon post there. Now, precursor posting occurred on 4chan, Facebook, Twitter. As I said, it's been posted on many places. Reddit, Instagram, push to deplatform? No. Why only 8chan? Bonus question. Was the time of the posting pre or post actual event? That is correct. The post that was the most recent one actually took place on Instagram and then was posted afterwards on 8chan. Logical thinking from March 20th, 2019. Increase in attacks, deplatform, shill infiltration, mainstream media, fake MAGA direct links to terror acts of violence only demonstrates validity and close proximity to justice. Paine in the kill box. Obviously, everything that we are seeing, all of the deplatforming actions, all of the attacks in the mainstream media, the attacks by fake MAGA, people who pretend to support the president but then hate our favorite Anon and anybody who follows them, those people are the ones working to get rid of us and who are working against the coming justice and pain that the cabal will soon be feeling. Boomerang, it's coming right back at them. You are witnessing the largest organized disinformation campaign to ever be perpetuated on the American public. Trust yourself. Be free in your thoughts. The Great Awakening. Return power to the people. This is what we're doing. We are waking people up. We are taking power back as the American public. We are the ones who should be in control of our government, not the clowns in America. And then, of course, we link to the fabulous video. This video will get Donald Trump elected. Not going to be able to play that because I don't want to get a copy strike, but you guys know what that is. You've seen it before, and I definitely will include the link in the description. It's been a long time since we've had a non-corrupt president who works on behalf of the American people and not himself. America is no longer for sale. I think that those two lines speak for themselves. Now next, post 3589. We have a Twitter status. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. And it says from Secret Agent, wow, John Durham was appointed by Trust Sessions on October 28th, 2017 as interim U.S. Attorney, later nominated by POTUS as U.S. Attorney. Our favorite Anon's first archive post is dated the same date, October 28th, 2017. Coincidence? You and I both know that it is not. We have talked about this on many an occasion, and this here is military precision. They did this on purpose, and it's just another clue that we are on the right track. What are the odds of that? Mathematically impossible? Coincidence? The truth is right in front of you. Again, we are in the midst of something very real, something very, very important. You guys, we are fighting for nothing less than the future of our country. And you and I are standing side by side right there along with POTUS and our favorite Anon and everyone involved in that team. All right, and finally for right now, post 3590. And it is a letter from Grassley. We'll go ahead and take a look at that and then read the post. This is dated July 20th, 2017. This is to the Honorable Rod J. Rosenstein, and it's from Chuck Grassley. Dear Mr. Rosenstein, according to news reports, during the 2016 presidential election, Ukrainian government officials tried to help Hillary Clinton and undermine Trump, and did so by disseminating documents implicating a top Trump aide in corruption, and suggested they were investigating the matter. Ukrainian officials also reportedly helped Clinton's allies research damaging information on Trump and his advisors. At the center of this plan was Alexandra Chalupa, someone we've heard a lot about recently, described by reports as a Ukrainian-American operative who was consulting for the Democratic National Committee, and reportedly met with Ukrainian officials during the presidential election for the express purpose of exposing alleged ties between then-candidate Donald Trump, Paul Manafort, and Russia. Politico also reported on a Financial Times story that quoted a Ukrainian legislator, Serhiy Lyshenko, saying that Trump's candidacy caused Kiev's wider political leadership to do something they would never have attempted before: intervene, however indirectly, in a U.S. election. Reporting indicates that the Democratic National Committee encouraged Chalupa to interfere with Ukrainian embassy staff to arrange an interview in which Poroshenko, then president of Ukraine, might discuss Manafort's ties to Yanukovych. Chalupa also met with Valery Chaley, Ukraine's ambassador to the U.S., and Oksana Shulyar, a top aide to the Ukrainian ambassador, in March 2016, and shared her alleged concerns about Manafort. Reports state that the purpose of their initial meeting was to organize a June reception at the embassy to promote Ukraine. However, another Ukrainian embassy official, Andriy Teleshenko told Politico that Shulyar instructed him to assist Chalupa with research to connect Trump, Manafort, and the Russians. He reportedly said they were coordinating an investigation with the Hillary team on Paul Manafort with Alexandra Chalupa, and that Oksana Shulyar was keeping it all quiet. The embassy worked very closely with Chalupa. Chalupa's actions appear to show that she was simultaneously working on behalf of a foreign government, Ukraine, and on behalf of the DNC and Clinton campaign in an effort to influence not only the U.S. voting population, but U.S. government officials. Indeed, Teleshenko recalled that Chalupa told him and Shulyar, if we can get enough information on Paul Manafort or Trump's involvement with Russia, she can get a hearing in Congress by September. Later, Chalupa did reportedly meet with staff in the office of Democratic Representative Marcy Kaptur to discuss a congressional investigation. Such a public investigation would not only benefit the Hillary Clinton campaign, but it would benefit the Ukrainian government, which at the time was working against the Trump campaign. When Politico attempted to ask Representative Kaptur's office about the meeting, the office called it a touchy subject. Because collusion with the foreign government is definitely touchy. So the letter goes on to state the fact that Alexandra Chalupa should have been required under the Foreign Agents Registration Act to register as an agent of the Ukrainian government. It details the fact that the Podesta Group and Mercury LLC were both required to do so, even though the work they were doing was not directly on behalf of the Ukrainian government, but rather for a Ukrainian agency. And it wants to know why Alexandra Chalupa was not asked to do so. Now, they are also asking for these questions to be answered. I'm not sure what the results of this letter were, but this was sent by Chuck Grassley, again, back in July of 2017. Now, I didn't read all of that, but it was a couple of pages long, and I want you guys to go ahead and read it yourselves. But it says, read carefully, and then reread carefully. Spy insert, EC known. Now, in that letter, Chuck Grassley details all of the alleged interactions between Alexandra Chalupa and the Ukrainian government. We know from recent reporting that EC was directly involved in those interactions, actually hosting events at the White House during the former administration. Now, reread the drops regarding spy insert. What do these people have in common? Let's see. Pelosi's son, Kerry's son, Romney's son, Biden's son. Hint, geolocation, Ukraine. Hint, energy. Coincidence? When George Soros calls, D's always answer. Nothing can stop what is coming. Nothing. The whole point of this post is that all of these people and their interactions in Ukraine is already known to the United States government, to President Trump, to the people on the Q team. They are not going to be able to stop what is coming. What is happening is inevitable, and these people are not going to get away with it. So you guys continue to watch, continue to pop that popcorn, because we are going to sit back and watch everything take place. All right, and just as I was finishing the video, another drop came through, post number 3591, and it says, follow the family, and it goes to a YouTube video. Let's go check it out. It's a video entitled NRG Lab and New Technology, and it is about Nancy Pelosi's son, Paul Pelosi. In September of 2010, Viscoil Corp LLC was invited to attend the X Prize Foundation. Here is Nancy Pelosi introducing probably her son Paul. And Paul Pelosi is a member of management team of Viscoil Group of Companies and Energy Lab. Paul Pelosi Jr. is interested in developing clean energy that can replace gasoline and diesel as transportation fuel sources. And it gives a couple of links to the company. Well, again, this is just reinforcement of the fact that these children of the political dynasties of America get involved in energy, and it is an excellent way to funnel money because they have to be getting the money from somewhere, and they're stating that it's from the energy or the consulting that they're giving to these energy companies or the countries from which they are pulling that energy. All right, as you know, today is the first day of public hearings for the sham impeachment inquiry, and Republicans got a good laugh when Adam Schiff claimed that he does not know the name of the whistleblower. Republican House members in the room on Wednesday's Intelligence Committee public impeachment inquiry laughed when committee chairman Representative Adam Schiff claimed he didn't know the name of the whistleblower, whose anonymous secondhand claim of misconduct by President Trump with regard to Ukraine instigated the partisan impeachment process process of the Democrats. Schiff was challenged by Representative Jim Jordan, and Schiff was a little testy with Jim on whether Republicans would be allowed to question the whistleblower, saying Schiff knew their name and that the Schiff staff had met with them, but Schiff denied knowing the name. The reaction by Republicans was reported by Alex Miller of Newsy and said Schiff says he doesn't know the identity of the whistleblower. Entire front row of Republicans laugh. Axios reporter Elena Treen reported Republicans laughed and sneered. Republican members of Congress in the audience laughed and sneered to each other when Schiff said this. Schiff's dubious claim, falsely reported as a fact check, was also challenged online by Representative Paul Gosar. In response to Jim Jordan, Adam Schiff claims he doesn't know the identity of the whistleblower. If he doesn't know their identity, how will he prevent them from being named? Daily Mail reporter David Martosco said Adam Schiff claims he doesn't know the identity of the Ukraine whistleblower. How is this possible? His staff met with them in person. Now, Trump War Room co-host Raheem Kassam noted problems with Schiff's denial. Schiff says he doesn't know the identity of the whistleblower, despite his staff being in contact with said whistleblower. Okay, but if he doesn't know the identity, how can he, as the Intel chairman, stop the whistleblower from being named? And how is the name being redacted in docs? Presumably, Representative Louis Gohmert was one of those laughing at Schiff from his front row seat. Unfortunately, Gohmert and his fellow congressmen were placed by Schiff in Bob Euchre front row seats in the back of the room behind the media. Look at that. Oh, just incredible. Now, Intel Committee Republicans set up a sign on their side of the dais that said 93 days since Adam Schiff learned the identity of the whistleblower. There it is right there. I love it when they set these signs up. Chairman Mao Se Schiff is not amused. I don't understand why Adam Schiff just continues to lie with such impunity. It's so obvious at this point that, of course, he knows the identity of the whistleblower. We know that him and his staff met with them privately and coached them on their testimony prior to it becoming known to anybody else. So this just seems like a really useless exercise for Adam Schiff and his staff to try and parade around at this point. Now, more bad news for the Democrats from the sham impeachment inquiry. A Dem witness says he raised concerns about Hunter Biden's Ukraine board position to Joe Biden's office in 2015. Now, this was George Kent. He was Deputy Assistant Secretary of State, and he's one of two witnesses testifying on Wednesday in the House Intelligence Committee's impeachment inquiry into President Trump. During his opening statement, Kent talked about when he became aware that Hunter Biden, Joe Biden's son, was on the board of Burisma, a gas company in Ukraine. He said in a briefing call with the National Security Staff in the Office of the Vice President in February of 2015, I raised my concern that Hunter Biden's status as board member could create the perception of a conflict of interest. Just a perception. Let me be clear. However, I did not witness any efforts by any U.S. official to shield Burisma from scrutiny, he added. In fact, I and other U.S. officials consistently advocated reinstituting a scuttled investigation of Zlochevsky, Burisma's founder, as well as holding the corrupt prosecutors who closed the case to account. Now, I'm sure you'll all remember that Hunter Biden was paid more than $80,000 a month as a ceremonial figure by Burisma, which hired him as a helpful non-executive director with a powerful name, according to a recent report. Burisma Holdings, of course, is one of Ukraine's largest natural gas companies. By the end of Joe Biden's 2 terms, the company had paid $3.4 million to Rosemont Seneca Bohai LLC, a company headed by Hunter Biden's business partner, Devin Archer. Specifically, the records show 18 months in which 2 payments of $83,333 per month were paid to Rosemont Seneca Bohai for consulting services. The 2 sources said that one of those monthly payments was intended for Biden and the other one was for Archer. Reuters was not able to independently verify the authenticity of the documents or how much money Hunter Biden received. In an October interview, Hunter Biden said he did nothing wrong when he served on the Burisma board, but acknowledged that he likely got high-paying positions on such boards because I'm the son of the Vice President of the United States. If your last name wasn't Biden, do you think you would have been asked to be on the board of Burisma? Amy Robach asked. I don't know. Probably not, Biden said. It's impossible for me to be on any of the boards I just mentioned without saying that I'm the son of the Vice President of the United States. He went further saying, I don't think there's a lot of things that would have happened in my life if my last name wasn't Biden. Just a stunning admission from Hunter Biden in regards to the fact that his name, Biden gave him favorable admission to so many different exclusive clubs throughout his life. $83,333 a month is a lot for a ceremonial figure. I would like to see the consulting work that Rosemont Seneca did for Burisma, and I would really like to know a lot more about what Hunter Biden's day-to-day was like when it came to advising Burisma. I'd also like to know who else was paid by Burisma, and all of those names that we read in that post in the beginning. I really think that we should probably do a deep dive on everything that those people had to do with Burisma and the Ukraine. I also find it stunning that the children of all the people who seem to hate Donald Trump the most are the people who all were paid to do things in the Ukraine. And when it came down to it, all of them had to do with the energy sector. It is a very lucrative sector, something that many people would love to be involved in, especially to the tune of $83,333 a month. All right, and finally, did Adrian Perkins tell police and fire not to help with the Trump visit? Now, this is that report coming out of Louisiana stating that the mayor of that town told police and fire not to attend Trump's rally and that they could potentially be given unpaid leave if they did. Keel News has learned Shreveport police and firefighters have apparently been told not to assist with the presidential visit in Bossier City tomorrow. Several sources have told us local first responders were involved in planning meetings to prepare for Donald Trump's rally at the CenturyLink Center. Police officers were rescheduled to help with traffic control, and fire department bomb squads expected to be used as well. But we've learned that Mayor Adrian Perkins has told his fire and police chief not to assist with this potential rally. A spokesman for the mayor tells us the city is providing resources, but would not tell us what kind of resources. We also reached out to both Chief Ben Raymond and Fire Chief Scott Wolverton, but have not gotten a response from them. The Shreveport Fire Department Explosive Squad was reportedly used for the Trump rally in Monroe last week. The city would be reimbursed for all costs associated with security. Local residents are responding with outrage. One says this is hypocritical for a combat veteran, a West Point grad, to deny services to the commander-in-chief. Sheriff Steve Prater tells Keel News, "I didn't like Clinton. I was chief of police and we protected him. I actually gave him a business card and asked for weed and seed grant money. He had someone call me and we got several $1 million. State Representative Dodie Horton said, "We are shocked and appalled that Mayor Perkins has displayed such a lack of respect for the office of the presidency. Civility doesn't exist in the Shreveport Mayors Association." And then they ask for people to call the mayor's office if they are unhappy about this decision by the mayor. Now, this is more than just a story. I was actually sent a tip by someone with actual contacts inside police and fire in this city. They said that they were in fact told that they would get 30 days of unpaid leave if they decided to attend, even in their civilian clothes. The article states it just perfectly. This is absolutely zero respect for the office of the presidency. It doesn't matter who the president is. We have a duty to serve, we have a duty to respect them, and we have a duty to uphold the Constitution. Every single one of us. This mayor really needs to take a look in the mirror and decide for himself what kind of person he wants to be. All right, guys, something tells me these posts are just going to keep on coming, so expect another video filled with posts tomorrow. Hopefully, we've got some good news coming out of Washington, and these Democrats are not going to be able to keep their charade up for much longer. I guess that's all I've got for you today. I want to thank everyone for joining me. As always, this has been Red Pill 78. I am the Corruption Detector, and this was your Red Pill News. Good luck, everyone, and God bless. Hey guys, it's Red Pill. I just wanted to say one more thing. Thank you very much to all my patrons. Thank you to everyone who supports this channel. If anyone wants to help out, there are links in the description of this video below. Please make sure to subscribe to my backup channels in case anything happens here. I will begin publishing there. And if you guys have any questions or tips for me, please send me an email at redpill78@protonmail.com. Also, don't forget to make sure that you have notifications turned on for this channel. When you go to my channel page, there is a little bell. Click that bell and choose all notifications. And if you don't have one already, go sign up on Twitter and follow me there and make sure that your notifications are on. Because even if you don't get a notification from YouTube, I always have a notification that goes out on my Twitter page that lets you know every time I put out a new video. I look forward to reading your messages. I look forward to getting the news to you on a daily basis. And I look forward to seeing you all again in the next episode.